Hello again. This video is a review of my reflections and self-evaluations for my e-portfolio for the Executive Master of Hospitality Management program at the Conrad N. Hilton College of Hotel and Restaurant Management at the University of Houston. My strongest competency in work and in life is my innate ability to connect with people and empathize with their situation. For example, I always try to find a common factor with clients and guests, something that sparks interest with both of us to create some kind of bond and trust, which I think is important. I also empathize. For example, recently a client told me that their luggage was lost by the airline. I empathized with them, told them that this had happened to me on a recent trip and how this personally affected my journey, then provided some temporary solutions to make it easier for them. My weakest competency in work and in life is that sometimes I overpromise. I tend to think that I can take on the world or that I'm Superman, then realize I get closer to client deadlines, due dates, etc., and that I may have taken on more than I can handle alone. For example, I recently had promised a client that I could have all of their banquet event orders to them within 24 hours when they requested this. I felt confident at the time that I could accomplish this task. Then, of course, I had other urgent requests come up. Clients on site needed things right away, and I had other deadlines come up for my boss unexpectedly. I was not able to honor the request of providing BEOs within 24 hours, and I felt like I had provided a false sense of hope for this paying client, which is unfair. I continue to learn each and every day how to manage this better. This is something that I want to truly focus on for the next year. Under-promising and over-delivering is a beautiful concept. My key leadership attributes include transparency, emotional intelligence, positivity, and intentionalness. As a leader, I believe in being transparent with fellow colleagues, staff, and clients. This builds respect and trust. For instance, we are currently undergoing a pool renovation at my property. I feel that disclosing this to each customer is crucial, whether or not they end up using the facility. Full disclosure is the best policy, in my opinion. I feel that I have strong emotional intelligence as I'm able to read situations and people very well. Leaders, excellent ones at least, remain positive. They have an energy or aura of positive light that exudes from them, and I do my best to remain positive in all situations. When colleagues are upset about a new company policy or are just being negative in the break room, I do my best to remain positive and set the right example and tone. Lastly, I do my best to remain intentional with my actions. For instance, it's important to me that I really think before I speak and think before I act on a situation. There are, of course, things that could improve the results for me and those around me at work, school, and my personal life for that matter. I want to improve on being more consistent. I want to work on always meeting work deadlines, and this goes back to not overpromising. This means that realistic expectations have been set, even if I do not love how they sound out loud. Many of my leadership skills have been based on the skills of good leaders that I have been surrounded with over my years in the hospitality business. So I've picked up on the good qualities and tried to skip over the not so good ones. I've had the opportunity to work under some amazing leaders, and I've been able to learn from them over the years. For instance, Virginia was a leader of mine that was really high energy and beamed with positivity. Her energy rubbed off of me and gave me my passion for the industry. Jeff was realistic yet fun. He would reward our team with quarterly department outings. This was so fun. We would usually do over-the-top things like renting a party boat and take it out on Lake Austin. Kendra was consistent and supportive. She had been a longtime manager with the company that I was with and understood my perspective, even though she had been in her position for a long time. Jennifer was always in the trenches, if you will. She was always with us. She was there when we needed her like clockwork. Tracy, he's energetic, he's nonstop, he's upbeat. He's just a true fireball, and he's an inspiration to me and the rest of the team. I also have experienced the not so good leaders who, to respect their privacy, I'll refer to them with only their first initial. A. A was always late to work. She was never present when we needed her and was always in the back doing paperwork. T did not want growth for his team, and he always made this obvious. He did not support change and consistently said, "This is how things have always been done, so it has to be done like this." As a leader, I feel like I'll grow immensely over the next year in this program. I hope to grow in becoming more consistent and setting realistic expectations with myself and with others. They play hand in hand. I'm not able to be consistent when I have set unrealistic expectations. As a leader, as a manager, and an overall member of humanity, I want to be a positive light and give all that I can to each project that I'm involved with. I have reflected heavily on what I want to accomplish in this program. I want to grow my skills in training and instruction. It's really what I want to focus on, hence me making these videos and doing things that are more live and interactive. I've always been an avid short-term and long-term goal keeper. It's always what I've done. So it's a way to hold myself accountable. So my big short-term goal is to become a director of catering and events, specifically in a luxury hotel setting. Another short-term goal is to become more involved with catering and events training within my company. So doing training with software, new employees, and then at some point, I would like to become a hospitality educator. Hence me really going back to school, getting my master's, continuing my education now. I've always had a passion for continuing education and for teaching. I always find myself volunteering to conduct trainings for my department and training our new hires. I'm also the student liaison for our local Young Travel Professionals YTP DFW chapter and Meeting Professionals Internationals MPI DFW chapter. So I really just think it's important to be involved with the students and be there to give back. By the end of the program, I want to be a more confident leader, a more confident manager, and a more confident person. I want to have a larger skill set and a more broadened knowledge of the hospitality business. I also want to be ready to take on a new role with my company and be better equipped to teach hospitality. Long term, I see myself as a business owner, whatever that may be, teaching, and generally just doing what I love doing, being at the service of others. My next video is my review of my strategic plan.